Hello, handsome.
He is quite handsome, isn't he? Actually, I shouldn't say that. My husband will be watching this.
Dragon's Den, Britain's most intense elevator pitch, in which aspiring entrepreneurs go head-to-head with 5 deal-hungry multimillionaires. Peter Jones,
I love this job.
titan of tech and the Den's longest-serving dragon.
You need to take a deep breath.
I know, I'm literally shaking.
Deborah Meaden, the sustainability champion, who puts her money where her mouth is.
Sadly, that money is staying right where it is.
Tuka Suleiman, a fashion industry maverick who's never afraid to take a punt.
I have to be passionate.
That's fascinating.
Sarah Davies,
I want to eat your face.
the queen of crafts,
Look at this way, Stephen.
who tells it exactly as it is.
I'm just trying to cut through the BS and get it straight.
Thank you.
And Stephen Bartlett,
Here we go. Boom, boom, boom.
social media mogul
He's the baby of the bunch.
and bringer of fresh fire.
Have you got anything nice to say, Tuka?
No.
Tonight,
This got Sarah Davis written all over it.
I love it when people do that.
Well done, darling.
How did you feel in those?
Flirtatious.
I'm going to be really honest with you, mate. You have started off on the back foot.
I love you too, thank you.
So when you say you built a brand,
Oh, it's unrivaled, Deborah, though.
I feel like I let myself down a bit with that.
I could create this whole collection for £5 grand.
I'll bet you 150 grand you can't.
Wow.
Do you watch Dragon's Den a lot?
That's just how to play chess in the den.
welcome to Dragon's Den, where another batch of determined entrepreneurs are waiting to pitch their ideas in this battleground for business, from which only the best prepared will emerge victorious. First up tonight is an Ackland from Auckland, New Zealand-raised but now London-based Ashley Ackland, who's ready to raise the roof in the den.
I gotta bring my dragon.
Bring it, darling.
I'm bringing the party everywhere I go.
Cheers. Let's smash this.
Ashley is a big fan of dressing up, but today she's dressed down for the den.
Though these pants are really outrageous, I've definitely worn much more outrageous things in much more conservative places, so these are quite, toned down for me.
The entrepreneur is hoping to get the investors out of their chairs.
I would love to see some dragons sliding into their party whip and showing us their best moves.
glittery pants.
Oh, these are right up our street, Deborah.
But she's slightly worried one dragon might not be down with her designs.
I don't know if Tuka will kind of get my business. It's quite, young. Can I say that? That's so harsh. Please don't put that in.
My name is Ashley Ackland. I'm here today seeking £50,000 and a dragon in exchange for 20% equity of my business, Sparklebutt, the disco-inspired, gender-neutral partywear brand. I spent my 20s working in festivals and events around the world. It was at these events that I noticed a gap in the market. The only place that you could buy flamboyant, sparkly clothing was in the women's section. So I designed 2 products to be worn by anyone with a butt: our party pants and our booty shorts. Our customers, on average, they're age 28 to 40 and are incredibly loyal to our brand. What I have been running as a side hustle for the last 4 years is now ready to scale. In 2019, our second year of business, we started to gain some real momentum, turning over 26K. The following 2 lockdown years were a bumpy road for a party pants company, but we survived. And we're on track to turn over £350,000 in 3 years. Thank you for listening. Thank you to my beautiful models. And if you look inside your boxes, you'll see some sparkly delights.
Sparkly partywear is the concept on offer from Ashley Ackland.
I want to know what that means.
It means well done, darling.
Oh, I like that. Well done. I do that all the time. I didn't know that's what I meant, but I do that all the time.
I thought it meant show me the money.
Ashley's asking for £50,000 in return for a 20% chunk of her business.
Are they comfortable?
I can boogie all night in these, and I have many times.
There's only one way to really know if they're comfortable.
I have to say, I didn't expect Tuka to be the one to put them on.
Can we get some groovy music on, please?
Yes. You ready? 5, 6, 7, 8. Wow, he's really going. Oh. The sparkle effect, guys.
A dazzling demo from the dragon that Ashley was worried wouldn't appreciate her product.
Ashley, you said about your demographic where it's between 28 to 40.
Yeah.
You've just had a 69-year-old dancing in the den.
True. Yeah.
20-year-old hearts.
How did you feel in those?
Flirtatious.
Tuka Suleiman might be feeling flirty, but it's Stephen Bartlett who's first to find out if Ashley's proposition is promising or pants.
While Tuka's catching his breath, I'm going to ask you some questions. Is it your idea?
Yeah, this whole thing is just me. It's a one-man band. I started by making them myself, like one by one, and then I started working with a seamstress, and then we moved to working with a factory in Tottenham, and then we moved my manufacturing abroad.
And how many SKUs do you have?
We've got 7 colours, and we've got 2 styles.
My partner Tara, those shorts there that you've got, she has some very similar to that, and she rocks it. I love them. It certainly gets a lot of attention. So, look, I think there is a market for this.
Yeah.
I was really impressed when you said you started making them yourself, so...
Yeah.
Let's take the trousers. So what does one of the pair of trousers cost you?
They are £24, and that is like door to door.
And what do you sell them for?
93.
Sell for 93. They're very good quality, by the way. You know, having seen how well they're made, I wouldn't balk at paying 93. So what's the average high street price for a pair of sparkly trousers?
Depends on the store, really. You can get like a £2,000 pair from Gucci, or you can get $20 like joke shop ones from Amazon that don't have lining, and they give you what I call sparkle cuts from the sequins. The thing is, my customers are buying these not just as a disposable wear once to a festival. Like, my customers wear these products again and again and again, so they're happy to invest in things that are gonna last the distance.
Clothes that can withstand a regular run-out is Ashley's justification for her product's pricing. Stephen Bartlett now wants to find out if there's any glitter when it comes to her garment sales.
So take me through some of those numbers then. So I got 2019, you did 26,000 in revenue.
26,000, that was a 16 gross.
Yeah.
And a net of 300. And then the following year was 8.7 and a net of minus 3.5.
Yeah.
And then 21 was 24K with a net of 4.5.
And you're projecting this year?
I'm projecting this year will be 107 with a net of 8.
And how are you doing so far this year?
We have done 19.
So where's the 80 plus K going to come from?
We haven't yet hit our peak season. Like, the first 5 months are normally quite a quiet period for us.
And you said that in 3 years' time, I believe, you're going to be making 350K?
That's with no investment. That's just what it will do. But
So
I believe with the size of the market, like, if we just go after people in the UK or US that attend one festival a year that are aged 28 to 40, there's 3.2 million. So if we go after just like 1% of that, that's a multi-million-pound business, you know? So I think that there's a real market for this.
Ashley is really fighting her corner in an effort to prove the potential of her product. And it seems the den's dancing dragon and clothing connoisseur has also seen some possibilities with her idea.
There is a market for this, definitely. But you've got a very small start-up business still. And I think if you're focused on festivals alone, I don't see the business being a big business.
I'm definitely not focused on festivals alone. I want to own the party wear space in the same way that Lululemon owns the yoga space, or in the same way that Nike owns the running space. No one is currently owning the party space.
Whoa, you're ambitious.
How do you do that?
I think that I would do it by building the brand.
So we've had 4 years so far, roughly. You're in your 4th year of trading. Can you give me an idea of how big this brand is using some metrics?
Like our Instagram followers?
Yeah, like your online...
Yeah, we've got 4,800 followers on Instagram.
4,000 followers in 4 years isn't a big community or brand. And for that reason, I think you're probably just a little bit too early for the investment. I love the product, and 100% I'd buy it to go to parties and festivals in. But as an investment, it's not standing out for me in the same way. So I'm going to say that I'm out, but I wish you the very best.
Stephen Bartlett likes the clobber, but not enough to covet the company. And Ashley is a dragon down. Now, Deborah Meaden is wondering what she could bring to the pants party.
What do you think a dragon can do to boost your brand?
Yeah, just taking it global. Like, I'm only really targeting the UK at the moment, and I think there's a lot of opportunity globally.
I think that kind of scares me because it worries me when people haven't really owned their home market and then they start thinking going global is going to solve the issue. Own your home market before you try and take over the world, because that way lies disaster. For that reason, I don't see it as an investment. So I won't be investing. I'm out.
Ashley, I think you've been reasonable on what you're asking for, because you've not come in saying, I want 50,000 for 5%. And I'm sure you're willing to go, you know, negotiate that 20%. But it's very clear you've got a very small business and you're in the very, very early stages. And that makes it incredibly challenging to invest in. This is a great side hustle, but for now, it's not an investment. I'm going to say I'm out.
Well, look, I'm in the apparel business, but not this end.
Yeah.
It is a very niche market. Is it a business that needs lots and lots of attention and time? Yes, it is. And is it a business that's going to need a lot more money? Yes, it is. So, unfortunately, as an investment today, it's too small for me. I'm not going to invest and I'm out.
Tuka Suleiman ends his interest, and 4 dragons have now passed on the proposition. Only Sarah Davies remains. Do the party pants have a place in her portfolio?
Actually, I totally disagree with what a lot of the other dragons have said. They keep saying you're very early stage in the business, but you're 4 years in. Now, granted, I appreciate we've had a lockdown in the middle of that, but still you've had, I think, plenty of opportunity to build the brand, and I just don't think you've quite got enough traction there. And I just think even if we try and supercharge this business to the max, it's not going to be a big enough return to really incentivise me to want to put my time and energy and money behind this business. So it's not an investment for me today, and I'm out.
Thanks, Ashley. Thanks for coming in.
Ashley's idea fails to sparkle in the den, and she departs without a deal.
I am feeling so glad that that's over. But yeah, I'm all good. Even though I didn't get any investment today, I'm just gonna, keep going, grow the business, and I'm gonna own that party wear space.
Well, all I can say is I'm going to take these home to Tara.
Next up is Wiltshire-based Amelia Gammon, with an enterprise that she believes has big-hitting benefits.
I'm bringing a new type of business that's doing good for people and the planet.
And there are 5 people in particular that are very much in Amelia's thoughts as she enters the den. And it's not this lot.
I have a beautiful wife and 4 lovely children at home, and I'm driving this business for my children, for the future generations.
Amelia's got a lot riding on the success of her idea.
I left a very high-powered, well-paid corporate job to run this business. And my family and I move out of our own home every other weekend and rent it out in order for us to cover the bills whilst I'm developing this business.
And she has a special tactic to keep it together as she takes on the other, slightly more fearsome group of 5.
I am so nervous. And when I get really nervous, I have to do like a little robot dance or something to try and get rid of the nerves. Hello, I'm Amelia Gammon. I'm the founder of Bide. I'm here today to raise £80,000 in exchange for 5% of the business. Over 34% of the global population is marginalised, made up of refugees, people with convictions, addictions, and those with disabilities. My goal is to empower this untapped workforce to be a production powerhouse, deploying an ethical human supply chain to make high-quality eco-products with care. This is Bide, a home manufacturing network that launches micro-entrepreneurs at kitchen tables across the UK. They make our groundbreaking eco-products in their own homes. We supply the raw ingredients, they mix them, we sell them. We're oversubscribed with people who want to work with us. They find us through word of mouth and through our employment charity partnerships with companies like Working Chance and Breaking Barriers. Our first range are eco-cleaning products. We have washing up liquid concentrate, dishwasher powder, toilet freshening bombs, toilet scrub and laundry powder. We have over 3,800 customers. We have 218 monthly subscribers. In our first year, we generated £56,000 in revenue. So I invite you to become part of this formidable venture, to drive returns for you and for the global community that we serve.
Environmentally friendly cleaning products made by home workers is the offering from Amelia Gammon.
Amelia, it looked like a scene out of Narcos, some sort of Colombian...
No, it's definitely not. They're actually mixing bicarbonate of soda, citric acid. These are things that you would actually find in your food cupboard.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Amelia's asking for £80,000 in return for 5% of the company.
You should have a good sniff. Then my favourite's the toilet scrub for the smell. They're all essential oils.
Deborah Meaden is first to find out whether this is a sustainable venture that a dragon could clean up with.
Amelia, so just so I understand, there are other businesses that sell this product. Your point of difference is that you're making sure that this work is distributed across a community and they are receiving a fair pay. So that's the sort of the eco stuff overlaid by the ethical side of employment. Is that really what you're in?
That's 100%. I feel like maybe you should already come for the company because you've got it to a T.
And what are you paying your lovely team?
So it works out that the average hourly rate is £15.27.
Oh, right. So they're being paid well above minimum wage.
Yeah.
And that's the whole fair wage thing.
And there's no cap on that either.
So which part do you call the business? So, you know, what is the beating heart of this business?
Right now, our model is built around the subscription offering. So our subscribers are receiving these goods every single month. The way that we make those goods is through this distributed manufacturing model.
OK, and how does that work?
The distribution centres deploy the raw ingredients out to the home manufacturers. They make the goods, and we then collect them from their homes when they're finished.
There's an element of contradiction here.
In what way?
Because you're talking about reducing your carbon footprint.
Yeah.
But your very thing about your business model increases it. You could have 400 homes that are receiving your product from a centralised distribution centre, and those 400 homes are now shipping back to the very distribution centre the goods were first shipped from.
So we have one distribution centre right now, but our plan is to have micro-fulfilment centres dotted all over the UK.
Yeah, but you're not getting my point. My very point is that your micro-fulfilment centres will receive from a main distribution centre. From there, they're sub-distributing to the home. From the home, they're then putting back into the micro-fulfilment centre for the micro-fulfilment centre to ship back out. without having centralised distribution, which is 1 point and then 2 points of delivery,
Yeah.
you've got 4 points of delivery. You're increasing your carbon footprint.
Peter Jones suggests Amelia's concept is compromised. And it seems something else doesn't stack up for Sarah Davies.
How is a business with 218 subscribers and 56 grand turnover worth 1.6 million?
So actually what we're building is an infrastructure that just doesn't just have application for the cleaning products that you're seeing here. So we are also moving into body care, and our first body care product will be ready in 2 months' time.
I totally agree with all of that, but you haven't given me one word of justification for the valuation.
So the valuation is based on the fact that we have built a brand that is unrivaled in its ability to secure customers and make them engage with what we're building.
Can I just say,
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time in this space and I've never heard of Bide. So when you say you built a brand...
Oh, it's unrivaled, Deborah, though.
Yeah, an unrivaled brand.
No, I said an unrivaled brand in terms of the way that our customers support us.
Right. So if you only had 3 customers, it would still be worth 1.8 million?
Well, no, obviously that would be a very different situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure that answered the question, did it?
I didn't feel like you've justified to me in any way, shape or form why the business is worth that much.
OK, well, the infrastructure that we're building is so much bigger than the revenue that we've generated in this short time, and that's really the valuation of the company, is that we're going after a much bigger play than just the cleaning product range that you see in front of you.
Amelia stands her ground with a confident defence of the price tag she's placed on her yet-to-break-out business. Tuka Suleiman now wants to find out what the entrepreneur expects to pull in a little further down the line.
Amelia, you said 56,000 turnover in the first year.
Yeah.
And the second year, what do you project?
Yeah, so we're projecting £315,000 by the end of this year.
And what's the revenue so far this year?
£22,000.
So you're going to do another 280 for the rest of the year?
Yes.
Which I think is a bit wishful thinking, but carry on.
Sure. So the rest of this year, the revenue will be driven by a combination of B2B partnerships, a growth in subscriber...
What sort... Sorry.
Yeah.
Stop you. So when you say B2B, describe a transaction B2B.
So we're in discussion with Watford Football Club at the moment to supply them with the cleaning ingredients or materials they need to clean their stadium and their kits. And the reason that they want to do that with us is because we are congregating a group of home manufacturers that live within 3 miles of the stadium and their training ground. So we're helping them to invest in local communities, but it also reduces the carbon emissions of that work, because them, like many other football clubs, are trying to hit net zero by 2040.
So how does that compare to the subscription model?
The home manufacturers that are based in Watford will receive the raw ingredients. They'll make the laundry powder that will go directly from their homes to Watford's training ground to wash their kits.
You're selling it from the home?
Yeah, not to our consumers, but to our B2B partners. So it's not coming back into a fulfilment centre.
So your future model is it will go from the home supplier directly to the customer?
Yeah,
in
to
the
the
B2B example?
Yes, yes.
It is really interesting because if you're doing that at home, if they became your home fulfilment partners, that means that you're reducing your carbon footprint. I really get this model and I really like it.
They really are.
What you've done, I think, is the future of where we might be going.
Yeah.
And I think I'm by far the best dragon to deal with this because I've got real vision.
Yeah. I think
And
everyone has real vision.
I'll tell you, oof, trust me, they don't. No, they don't. Oh, Stephen, let's say something.
Come on, guys.
You know,
talk
we have
about
a saying,
indecision,
and
for
it's
goodness
piss or
sake.
get off the pot. Well, we'll be here all day. Are you in or are you out?
I don't know yet.
Peter Jones teeters, but doesn't commit to an offer. Has the discovery of an additional business model in the pipeline convinced Tuka Suleiman that Amelia's concept could create cash?
Look, I love the idea of the community. And that's the only thing I love.
Right.
And you. Not love you. No, sorry. I love
you too, thank you.
No,
I mean,
no,
it's quite early, but let's go for it.
No. I didn't mean... What I meant to say is you as an entrepreneur, I think you're great.
Thanks.
However, you're aiming at the B2B. The cost of transportation of goods to the home workers and the cost of managing these home workers, I think you'll find that you will be under a lot of pressure on margin. So on that basis, unfortunately, Amelia, I'm not going to invest them out.
Amelia, I feel like the right time, the time when I'm interested in getting involved with a business, is when they can show me that they've got a clear model that is working and we've tweaked the levers and now we know if we push this button, invest this amount of money, we've got proof that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that you're not there. So it's definitely not a business for me today, so I'm out.
Amelia loses 2 dragons in quick succession. But Peter Jones has been mulling over an offer, and it seems he's come to a decision.
Amelia, I think it's... I go back to what I said earlier. The model is something of the future. One thing that's hitting me is you're basically localising community workforces for good.
Yeah.
And what will happen is people and businesses will want to actually support that community of which they're in.
Mm-hmm.
And that could be the groundbreaking sort of unicorn that comes out of this whole project for you. However, you are ridiculously overvalued. And I don't think for 1 minute you don't know that. So I wish and I hope that you're going to be successful. I'm, on this occasion, sadly going to say that I'm out.
Do you know what? The number one selling point of this entire proposition is the entrepreneur that stands in front of me. And I find you to be really, really impressive for so many reasons. However, there's just something which is holding me back. And I think it's not really understanding the proprietary element of this business outside of you. Because if it is viable, well, everyone will do it everywhere. So on that basis, I'm going to wish you the best of luck, but I'm going to say that I'm out.
Amelia's home manufacturing revolution can't quite get Stephen Bartlett and Peter Jones over the line. But this business is firmly in ethical investor Deborah Meaden's area of interest. So, is she interested?
So, Amelia, I do like everything that I like everything about this, and I don't think we can claim it for it to be terribly good in terms of the transportation, because I'm actually completely with Peter. I don't think that's really the point here. I think your really strong selling point is that you've got local communities making it, and that was going to be very attractive in terms of, you know, businesses, because they want to do the right thing. You know, they're all keen on that at the moment, so I think that's really interesting. I'm going to completely ignore that valuation, because I don't think you're anywhere near that. But I'm going to make you an offer, and I'm going to offer you all of the money, but I want 25% of the business.
OK, thank you.
Do you want to talk to the wall about your offer?
No, I'd love to talk to Deborah about it, if that's OK.
Yes, you should talk to me.
Yeah, well, there's no one else to talk to. So, and if we're going to build a relationship, we may as well start it now. I would absolutely love for you to be a part of this journey for me, but I'm wondering if perhaps you could come a little bit more into my direction and accept that you will do it for 17.5%. I would do a deal with you at 20%. Let's do it.
Oh, what a good negotiator.
And a dance too.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
A dance of joy after a deal in the den. Amelia gets the backing of Deborah Meaden, and her business gets a cash injection of £80,000.
You can go woohoo! Woo!
Deborah, well done.
I think you and her are going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a bit teary. When the Dragons first started telling me they were out, I had this awful sinking feeling that I'd let everybody down. I'm sorry, because it's really not about me. Sorry. Having Deborah on board is going to be a dramatic transformation for our company. And perhaps we won't need to rent out the house every other weekend. The children are really sick of sofa surfing.
Time for a phone call home.
Mama, did you get it?
I did get it, baby.
Next up is Bath-based entrepreneur David Horcock, who's showing the Dragons his twist on a classic game.
I've been developing pop-up books, models, puzzles, all kinds of things for a number of years. I'm bringing in something that's quite unusual. I think people will be surprised at how well it works.
Oh, paper engineers.
It's got Sarah Davis written all over it.
David creates products out of paper, and his designs have included some fearsome, fire-breathing creatures.
Chinese dragons, fantasy dragons, pop-up dragons, model dragons, yeah. Made a few pop-up dragons, but I think today the dragons will be a whole different proposition. Hello, dragons. I'm David. I'm the inventor of an entirely unique product, the pop-up chess set. The pop-up chess set can open or close in any position. The unique design of the board makes it impossible to upset any of the pieces. These unique selling points make it an ideal travel set, but also, as it folds flat, one that's easy to store on a bookshelf at home. The set is made entirely of paper and card. No plastic is involved. It is completely recyclable.
Do you want to tell us how much you want and what percentage? And if you're struggling, why don't we ask you questions?
No, yeah, I want. I'm seeking 40%. So I'm seeking £40,000 for 20% equity in my company. I'm really sorry for that. Yeah.
That's okay.
I really want to stress that I'm not only going to make a pop-up chess set, I'm going to expand it out into lots of different areas, including this particular pop-up row of 4, but I want to adapt lots of classic games for all ages. So this is my pitch. You will find a pop-up chess set in your box, and I'd love to take questions.
David Horcock has a mid-pitch brain freeze, but finds his feet and finishes his presentation.
I feel like I let myself down a bit with that pitch.
That's nerves, I'm assuming.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pop-up versions of classic games are the products he's putting in front of the Dragons.
Right, so it's all paper.
It's all paper, yeah.
David's asking for £40,000 in return for 20% of his company. Sarah Davies has a crafting empire behind her, and she's keen to kick things off.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Hello, hi Sarah.
That's really impressive.
Thank you.
I mean, I see a lot of this in my industry, but not at this level. And I see a lot of it in my kids' books that we buy, not at this level.
Well, I do both, basically. You do simple things and you do complicated things. A piece of work you will be familiar with, which will be the pop-up book in Paddington 2. I designed that. I did the pop-up sequence in Mary Poppins Returns. All of it,
Well, I mean, I've looked at this, and as someone who has researched paper engineering, I would hazard a guess you are one of the best people in the world at doing this.
One of the 3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Thank you.
I think it's bloody brilliant.
Thank you. That's great.
I'm absolutely, genuinely blown away, even when I try and tip it up, whatever I do. I think that is...
Yeah, it's pretty bomb-proof.
This, I think, is exceptional. And my question there was, is this allowable?
Yes. You're not allowed to use a certain term for it, but you can call it row 4, 4 in a row.
You're good at what you do, aren't you?
I am good at what I do, even if I say so myself.
The unassuming entrepreneur is off to a flyer. Deborah Meaden now wants to find out how far out of the starting blocks David has got with his pop-up proposition.
So, is this a business at the moment, or is this something you've designed and you want to turn into a business?
I've set up a new company for this. I have a second company, which is basically a website which has just got just huge amounts of stuff on there, including Paddington and all the things I've discussed. This is a new venture.
And your existing company, what does that turn over?
Around the 200,000 mark.
David, when I first saw this, I thought, that's cool. But sometimes things can be cool, but they're not necessarily better. So I'm trying to figure out how this is better, because the point about, you know, it being compact, I actually think that's a huge game of chess compared to some of the small compact ones that I've seen, which are just, you know, 6 or 9 inches big. That's actually massive.
The compact little tiny ones have tiny little pieces, so it's really hard to sort of read if you play the game.
These pieces are tiny.
They're larger than your average travel set. If you look at a travel set, you're talking 10 millimetres, so that's 4 times the size. And you can't close them mid-game and open them and start again.
I get that point. So you can carry on playing, which you can only probably do if you're playing a digital game of chess, for example.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, you're here for an investment in a business, though. And when this is a cool product, but we're looking for great businesses here. And the gap between a cool product and a great business is probably filled with like skills, knowledge, and experience. And I'm not sure that I have a huge amount of confidence that you know how to turn this into a great business.
I think I do. I mean, I've worked with rock bands, Genesis, Duran Duran. I've worked with film producers. You know, I've delivered really top, high-quality product to very specific times.
There's a difference between a product and a great business.
Well, it is a business, you know. I mean, because if you're developing new concepts and then pushing those through, it is a business, you know. I mean, product development, and I can also manufacture and deliver this stuff. I think I'm personable enough. I might be a bit nervous in the initial pitch, but I can make contacts, you know. I can, you know, I definitely know the field.
The entrepreneur fiercely defends his skill set in the face of Stephen Bartlett's doubts about his aptitude for business. Peter Jones wants to shift the focus onto David's other company and the pounds that pulls in.
David, you said that your main business turns over around 200,000 a year. But that's cyclical, I would imagine, as and when you get jobs.
Well, yeah, I'm working all the time. I mean, it's busy, 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 busy. But the bit that changes is if I fund the manufacturing and ship it, that's when it will be a peak or a trough. So.
And would you consider putting it all into one company?
I would consider putting it all into one, yeah. And I think that would be the natural progression, ultimately.
Yeah. Because I think that's where it comes together. I think that it's really interesting because you said something that also resonated. You said, yeah, I'm really good at what I do. Just so happens I'm really good at what I do too.
You are, yes.
And that's why I'm going to make you an offer.
That's great. Thank you, Peter.
And I'm going to offer you all of the money for exactly what you asked for 20%.
Excellent. Thank you.
I'd love you to just accept that now and we can move on.
I would obviously like to hear what people you would expect me to do.
I'd be intrigued to see whether any dragon will go lower than what somebody's come in and asked for.
Just this business?
No, the whole business. It's all combined. And I think I can bring a lot of value to your other side of that business as well, by the way. So I think we can grow the whole very, very quickly.
I do too.
OK, well, that's my offer, David.
David agrees to a company 2-for-1 by combining both of his businesses. The entrepreneur has now been offered his asking price, but he's not shaking hands on a deal just yet.
David, I think you're a genius in your own field, and I see way beyond the chess game. I think definitely blends itself into babies and children's area.
It does, yeah.
You know I'm in that field. I would want the whole lot together, the same as Peter. So I would like to offer you all of the money, and I'm going to match Peter's offer of 20%.
Great, thank you. That's amazing.
David, Listening to the other dragons, the response to what you are producing, if you get this response here, you'll get this response out there in the marketplace. So, you know, I'm sitting here thinking, I would love to be part of this.
Thank you.
So I'm going to make you an offer, but I would like to see the businesses come together, so it is one business. So I will offer you all of the money, £40,000, but I'm going to make you a better offer than you offered me.
Ooh.
You said you would be prepared to give away 20% of the business.
Yes.
I'm prepared to take 15% of the business.
Thank you. That's great.
Wow, David. Now, I think your skills and your talent are fantastic. And from my point of view, I wouldn't want to make you compromise any other business that you've got. So I am prepared to offer you all of the money in just the new company going forward.
Okay.
And I would like to win this investment, so I will match Deborah's 15% request.
Okay, wow.
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 Well done, David.
Thank you.
What have I started here?
What have you started? Yeah. It's great, you know. Thank you for starting. So, Stephen.
Yeah, I mean, I just can't fault you in terms of what you've created. I do think you're a genius. The issue I have is trying to really get a high degree of conviction as to how this becomes a really great business without me having to do a tremendous amount of work. Because I do think there's the delta between what you have here as a really brilliant product and turning this into a really great business. So I'm going to say that I'm out. But I will say, I know which will annoy some of my fellow dragons, I don't think you should be giving away your profession. I think you have enough in that box as a standalone proposition.
It doesn't annoy. I don't think that annoys us. I think that's fine.
I said it might.
I'm not surprised you're out because you couldn't have done anything with this business.
Couldn't have done anything with this. Yeah. I'll go
Lots
even
to
further.
consider.
I think Sarah's offer is great. I think she's most
Do
qualified.
you want to go to the wall?
She's not the most qualified, Stephen.
Wow.
Some dragon meddling going on as Stephen Bartlett tries to sway David's decision, much to the annoyance of some.
How much are you paying you?
The entrepreneur now has 4 offers to digest. Peter Jones and Tuka Suleiman are both agreeing to his initial terms of £40,000 for 20%. But they want David's other company tied into the deal. As does Deborah Meaden. But she's asking for less equity, 15%.
He's brilliant.
And the crafting queen Sarah Davies has undercut everyone by only asking for 15% of the newly created business, not both companies.
Well, it's amazing. I wasn't expecting 4 offers, so I'm disappointed I didn't get 5 now. Would anybody be prepared to share? No.
Not for me, not in this instance.
Is that a deal breaker? I mean, is that your preference, to share or to go with one?
No, I'm happy to go with 1. I think I'd quite like a transition between all of the business, starting with this and then bringing all the rest of it in. I'd quite like a sort of timetable for that.
I think that's fine, and that's practical, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think that's reasonable as well.
So, would you be prepared to keep the businesses separate initially, and would you drop your offer to 15%?
Would I get it now if I said yes?
Try it.
David, I'll go to 15%.
And I would match that. Based on everything now.
Would you two work together on that deal?
With Peter and I.
Yeah.
I'd work together, but at 7.5%, that's really small.
10%
Yeah, no, it's
each,
fair
we'd
enough.
work together.
Yeah.
10% each, we would work together. Peter and I work very well.
Excellent. OK, I'll take that. Thank you.
Well,
Great, David, fantastic.
David, you broke me heart. Can't
I'm
believe
sorry,
it. I was
yeah,
the
I mean-
only person who understood and appreciated your
I knew what a paper engineer was, yeah.
Yeah? They haven't got a Scooby-Doo what all this is, man.
David, looking forward to working with you.
And you,
David.
well, thank you very much.
We'll do a lot.
So happy.
David has done it. He departs with the £40,000 he was seeking.
Thank you.
And two kings of the business world ready to champion his pop-up chess proposition.
It was extraordinary to have all those offers. Sarah's my regret, definitely, and she knew what a paper engineer was. But I know that Peter and Tuke have absolute routes to market, which is something I'm missing.
I am surprised at you for sharing and at him for giving away 20%.
That's just how to play chess in the den.
Sorry, guys. I mean, you have to lose some.
Last up is James Higgins, with a range of products for the home which he believes will allow anyone concerned about the future of the planet to sleep easy.
The world doesn't need more products, it needs better versions of existing products. And today I'll be bringing into the den a vision of a company which is going to transform the sleep market in the UK and globally.
Oh, that looks comfy.
Yeah.
This business will be highly successful, and I assume that we'll get at least one offer, maybe two, maybe three, who knows. But I do have a red line in terms of equity for what I'd be prepared to give away. I'm not here to sell myself short, and I will walk away from offers that are not fair. Hello, Dragons. My name is James Higgins, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ethical Bedding. We sell the most sustainable and luxurious bedding in the UK. Our sheets are our hero products. They're made using eucalyptus compared to cotton. It uses 95% less water in production, 30% less energy, no herbicides and pesticides, no farmable land. So a bit about me. After years of working in the city, my work no longer filled me with joy or gave me a sense of purpose day to day. So using my love of nature as a driving force, Ethical Bedding was founded. Ultimately, my goal is to leave the world a better place than I found it, and I invite all of you to join me on that journey.
So how much money are you raising?
Great question. I always forget that when I've been practicing. £150,000 for 6%.
Bedding products made using eucalyptus pulp is the proposition from London-based James Higgins.
In your boxes, there are some pillowcases and just one pillow protector. So if you would like a pair of them, you'll have to go to our website and buy another one.
James is seeking £150,000 in return for 6% of his business. Stephen Bartlett is first to peel back the sheets and find out more.
James, so talk to me about your sales to date then. Can you talk me through when you launched the business and the sort of sales you've had since then?
So the business was formed in February 2020. So in year one, we did 12k revenue, 12k loss. Year two, we did 70k revenue, 110 loss. This year, we'll do 500k rev, break even.
I can't get my head around this valuation on that basis. You're valuing the business at 2.5 million? How do you make sense of that?
The valuation?
Yeah.
Well, if you look at what profit we're going to have in 2 years' time, we're looking at...
In 2 years' time?
Yeah.
I love it when people do that.
I'm investing now, though, right? So if 2.5 million is the future valuation, what's the valuation today?
It's whatever someone's willing to pay for it.
Is that how you calculate the value?
Well, given the early growth stage of the business, it's impossible for me to give you an answer to that question, which is that you might be happy with.
James, I'm going to be really honest with you, mate. You have started off on the back foot.
Oh, right, OK.
I think coming in with a valuation like that and then giving such a cocky answer to Stephen when he asked for a justification, you really got my back up to start with. Do you watch Dragon's Den a lot?
I do.
Yeah. And where would you say that 150k that you've asked kind of sits on the scale of what we get asked for?
I understand that it's on the high end.
Yeah. You've asked us for an obscene amount of money and offered us such a small stake in your business. And the problem is, because you've come in here with such a punchy valuation, we're not really prepared to cut you much slack.
OK.
which is a shame because standing in front of us 5 here is literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for you. And it is the thing that could turn the needle on your business and make it go from 0 to hero overnight.
Of course.
Not the best of starts for James, as Sarah Davies takes exception to his valuation. The Den's green queen, Deborah Meaden, now wants to find out just how eco-friendly the entrepreneur's eucalyptus products actually are.
Can I just explore what you mean by ethical bedding? Because ethical covers many things, and I'd like you to tell me what you mean by ethical bedding.
So it covers everything. So obviously we're a certified B Corporation. We donate at least 1% of revenue to global sustainability initiatives. All of the packaging, of course, is totally recyclable. Every single last consideration that we could have thought of from a product perspective, we have tried to.
OK, and what have you got that's proprietary? What would stop me saying, I need to put together an ethical bedding business? What have you got that would stop me from doing that?
There wouldn't really be anything. So we'd be a couple of years ahead in terms of branding an existing customer base. But ultimately, no, there's nothing to stop anyone, but I wouldn't view it as taking a slice of my pie. I'd say that we're making the pie bigger, and if people are doing the right thing, then that's fine as well. That's OK.
Despite having no protection on his products, James is relaxed about potential competition. Tuka Suleiman wants to find out how financially committed he is to his eco-bedding offering.
How much money have you personally invested in this?
Directors' loans are somewhere in the region of 200,000.
Is that your own cash you put in?
There's my own cash, and I have some more cash available to be able to put in if I need to.
How much more have you got?
Somewhere in the region of 150, if I was to put that in.
Another 150?
Yeah, something like that.
Right. And how much other money have you raised apart from that?
There are about another currently in the region of 150, 170 in business loans.
This is definitely a complete startup. And I sometimes think that it's not best to raise other people's money at an early stage of a business venture like this. It's so much better to put your own capital into this and hold on to as much as you can at the early stages. If you have it, you're lucky enough to have been successful before, you've got capital to back this. If you would run out of money, I would get it. But it doesn't make sense that you're not doing that.
So my house is on the market.
Oh, so you haven't got 150K?
Liquid, no.
Well, I asked you how much money have you got that you could put in, and you said, oh, look, I could put in up to about 150K.
Assets that capital that I'm prepared to commit, yes.
Right, so you'd have to sell your house to put it in?
My house is for sale anyway, and that's money that I've set aside to be able to help.
I think that it's a great product, and I don't want to criticise the product because I can't. I think you're onto something here, but the valuation is stratospherically wrong. And I don't think that that is attractive for somebody like me to want to put money into a business. And I don't want to get involved in having to chuck money in and put it into loans. And you've got enough loans that you'll be paying back for the next 3 years anyway. So, sadly, I'm out.
Company debt proves to be a deal breaker for Peter Jones, and James loses his first dragon. But has he found a potential bedfellow in business in Stephen Bartlett?
So I actually think you're really impressive. And really, like in the Den, I'm backing an entrepreneur first and foremost, and then secondary to that is the idea. When I look at you as an entrepreneur, I think that's a guy I'd love to invest in. But you valued the business at 2.5 million, and you're offering 6%. I don't know how I can get comfortable with that sort of risk equation. So although I think you're a great entrepreneur and I'd back you in another business with another proposition, I'm not going to back this business today, and I'm going to say that I'm out.
So I'm in a completely different space to Stephen. I would say maybe he's even the opposite end of the spectrum. My concern is actually with you as an entrepreneur.
Okay.
I feel like what you've dished out in the Den today, there's a lot of a lot of spiel and talk, but the reality is you are a small business. And I think there's a lot of water to go under the bridge before you can get from where you are today to where you are talking about being. So for that reason, I won't be investing today and I'm out.
Thank you.
Sarah Davies decides against joining James on his journey to making his bedding company a king-sized concern. Deborah Meaden is always interested in ethical enterprises. Is she ready to greenlight a deal?
I think this is going to become a pretty mainstream product. You know, people are now beginning to understand cotton is a pretty nasty fabric. The chemicals used on making it is really bad news. And people are waking up to that, and I'm already sleeping on bamboo pillows, you know, so it's already beginning to happen. I think the big worry for me is the big businesses, it's just going to be part of their range. So I needed you to tell me there was something you did that was going to, I'm going to own this. This is my space. This is my space.
That's the intention.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Because people are already moving into it. And you're going to start struggling. So I'm really sorry. I won't be investing. I'm out.
James, overall view on your business, I think you've got something. However, I could create this whole collection for £5,000. Easy.
I'll bet you 150 grand you can't.
Sorry?
I'll bet you 150 grand you can't.
Take it. Good bet.
Fine. And I'm saying that in this one fabric, I can get you all the sizes, everything within 6 weeks out of China. Look, I'll get to the point.
Good.
The point is, I like the business.
You've said that after that.
I like the business. The only thing that draws me back is you've got a lot of loans in here.
Yeah.
And they're all going to be paid.
Correct.
You know, and to me, if I was to invest, I want half your business.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because that's what it's worth.
Is that an offer?
Okay. All right, James, I'm going to say where I am. So I would offer you all the money, but we'd go 50-50 partners. But I would add what you need. It's 150,000 for 50%.
I'm sorry, I can't accept that offer. But thank you. You know.
You want to counter?
No, thank you.
You don't. Okay. All right. James, I wish you all the best. I'm out.
Good luck.
A firm rejection of Tuka Suleiman's offer as James chooses to walk rather than negotiate. But he departs with his head held high.
I had an offer from Tuka, but respectfully, I mean, it's just ludicrous, so it's not worth commenting on. They want to be getting a bargain, and I'm not here to give people bargains.
I offered what I believe was the right value for that startup.
I'm very comfortable with the outcome. It's business, and I trust in the path of life and the universe, and what will be, and we'll see what happens.
So, as James looks forward to a future without a dragon, the entrepreneurs behind a home manufacturing idea and a pop-up game do celebrate investment. And for them, life has just changed forever. Next time.
My God, how much do you have to blow?
You're bringing a spud gun to a nuclear war here.
You're definitely the best-looking dragon on a cake, Tuka.
How does he taste?
You don't taste so good.
My granddad's on TV.
What does your granddad do on TV?
He does Dickinson's Real Deal.
He's really good.
I'm a sucker for this stuff.
Peter, upstairs, put your kilt on.
I beg your pardon?